Hello and welcome to a BWB bonus stream. That's right, it's Tuesday, and that means I'm going to do something that's not model kit building. Before we get into all that, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like being a lurker, well, you can just go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. It's a Tuesday, as I said. I'm just getting my my mic and everything adjusted here. Also, I look sunburnt in here, and I'm not. So let's make this look bad and then make it look good again. All right, great. Okay. Yeah, white balance was a little off. It happens. Anyway, hey, it's Tuesday. And I do something that's not model kit building on Tuesday, and this particular Tuesday, it's Hearthstone. Now, it's weird. It's always weird to have to explain this, but yes, people still play Hearthstone. And yes, new expansions come out consistently. So there was recently an expansion at the beginning of, or the middle of the month. And so now there are new decks for me to play. I have a couple, I think like 3 or 4. And one of them, for maybe the first time ever, I crafted this deck. This is like, I am not claiming that I am the person that came up with this idea. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying most of the decks that I play come from a streamer of some sort, where I saw it somewhere, because I don't go on Reddit. I'm sure I'd get more ideas. But, some streamers that I follow, make YouTube videos or whatever, and I follow their, like, oh, that looks cool. And then maybe I'll tweak it or modify it. Like, I have a couple decks that I've been playing now for several years, and when new cards come out, I see if they're right for the deck. In this case, I just saw someone writing, oh, I bet you could do something like this with this deck, with a deck like this, with these 2 cards. And I was like, oh, you fucking could. Okay. And I crafted it myself. Now, is it optimal? Probably not. Is there a better way to do it? With someone else will do it? I'm sure. But right now, I can tell you, the idea came from somebody else, but I'm the one to put together the 30 cards for the deck, for my deck. So I'm pretty excited about it. Now, it's not good. It's not a good deck. This is Hearthstone from your friend Pat. It's just not going to be like award-winning decks, but they don't redefine the meta. But they do allow me to play Hearthstone, and they're silly. I think one of them takes a while, but is really fun. One of them doesn't take too long, but it's frustrating because even if you do the deck perfectly, it doesn't always win. But it is using new cards, and I like using new cards. And the other one can win, and it's pretty cool. I just got an email that I want to check here real quick. Is this work-related email? It is not a work-related email. Okay, sorry. I have some work-related stuff coming in. All right, thanks, Hearthstone. Sure. Let's go to the game here. We'll look at a deck. We'll play the deck. We'll look at another deck. Oh, okay. Yes, I know about this Hearthstone gift. I already have it. Sorry, they're trying to tell me about this exclusive gift I can get, but I already redeemed it, so we're good. Let's see. Right now we're doing the special event quest here. We are almost done with it. So throughout the course of tonight, you will see that by playing 750 cards in traditional mode, if they're a Cataclysm, if they're a new expansion card, you get more points. Ranked gets more points. Herald and Shatter cards get more points. So number go up. And so we will be using that just as we play. I am using HS Replay to be my deck tracker. This is not a paid ad or anything, but I do like their product. So let's talk about our first deck, and then we'll play some of our first deck. Let's see. Oh, also, if you see this like time here, there are some cards that are on loan. To describe it anywhere? Here it goes. Dream City trial cards. Some copies of the cards are temporary. They expire at some point. So right now I have some cards that I normally would have to craft myself, which is nice. The decks that we will be looking at tonight are Repeat Death, Meat Fang, Spammy Blaze, and just Aviana. There was a so. You know what? I'm not going to talk about that. I'll mention this one real quick. Aviana, Sky Mother Aviana, you shuffle 10 random legendary minions into your deck. They cost 1. This deck originally was a standard deck because this card was in standard. It is now in wild. So this card is not going to be helpful in wild, or as helpful in wild as it is in standard, because the pool legendaries, there are a lot worse legendaries out there. But you can use some cards that you couldn't use originally, so that's fun. Like Aquatic Form. Aquatic Form is nice to have in this. A Wild Growth is nice to be in here. So there are some new cards, or some old cards that can go in here. This deck is... Oh, yeah. Capture Coldtooth Mine. Very good in this deck. Because it can just draw your Sky Mother Aviana. Nice. Let's look at the deck that takes the longest to play. We're probably going to focus on these 3 decks. I might do just Aviana for fun. I could do Rafam. There are no new cards in Rafam from my previous decks. Let's talk about Spammy Blaze. Now, I don't play a lot of warrior decks, but you gotta for this deck to work. So here's how this deck works. You want to play a Mecharoo. Mecharoo, when Mecharoo dies, a 1 cost minion, or a 1 health minion. When it dies, you summon another 1 health minion. And that's important for this deck, because this has to die, and then another thing has to die, which will then trigger effect to go off again. So you play that. Then you play a new card all the way down here. Where are you? Destructive Blaze. Destructive Blaze. After this survives damage, summon a Destructive Blaze. Death Rattle, deal 2 damage at a random enemy. So you play that. So that way, this will get hit twice, and then 1 will die, but it will bait others. And it will continue a cycle of dying and making another one, dying and making another one, continuously, and you're just doing a lot of damage to your opponent's face. Because you're going to play, after that, the 3rd card, you're playing Spammy Arcanist. And that deals 1 damage to any other minion. If any dies, you repeat. Now, the problem is that sometimes you're playing opponents who have more than 30 health. Or they have a wide board with a lot of health in it. So you're not going to OTK them. So the reason why this is a singleton deck is so that before you do your combo, you play... here we go. Deep Miner Bran. At Deep Miner Bran, if your deck started with no duplicates, which this deck does, your battle cries trigger twice the rest of the game. Everything else in this deck is there to find the cards you need for your combo or keep you alive long enough to do your combo. There are other cards that are helpful in here. Reno Jackson, just to give you back to your health. Cecil's Expanse to clear your opponent's board at any point. That's really helpful. Reno, clear your opponent's board. Ysera means that you can have 11 mana, because being the game, you can get to 11 mana, because our combo costs 11 mana. But we have Emperor Thaurissan, which reduces the cost of your cards. And we have Chrono Lord is good in here because it just helps clear your board. ETC. The band of ETC is the 3 cards in our combo. So if we play ETC, we can get our missing card in our combo if we don't have it, which is awesome. And if you played this brand with ETC, you can get 2 cards out of there. So you can theoretically run the combo twice if you had to. There's another combo in here that I really love to keep yourself alive. You can reduce costs of cards with Bellowing Flames. That's nice to have. I like playing Lava Gorger. There's 1 card in this deck that if you play this, you dredge, and you gain armor equal to the cost, and you can gain 100 armor. And that means you can get to the end of the game. You can, so we're going to get into this deck. my win rate with this deck is not... It used to be higher, but it's not as high as it has been. It's okay, but it is fun. It takes a while. So even if we get a win-loss record that's not good here, we'll probably only run this one a couple times. Let's do wild. Let's not do casual. No casual games. Let's try to rank up with some of this. But as I said, this deck is fun. It's fun when you win. Also, you go until your the battle cry is done, which means you can go into negative numbers, and then it just stops counting the negative numbers. So that's pretty fun. But also, I've lost because my opponent just whittles my health down before I can pull it off. Buckler is nice later, just to give you some armor to do some combos. We don't want any. None of this is our combo, so we don't want any of it. None of this is our combo, but this card could help us find part of our combo. This can clear the board. This is not going to do anything to us. All right, we got to get through 40 armor or 40 health, and our opponent will probably heal up. This is good to have. Also, Thaurissan is awesome because not only does it help you by reducing cost of cards in your hands, but also it means your opponent wants to kill it. We might as well forge this. Now, our opponent is playing this deck, which means that our opponent is probably going to kill us before we can pull off our combo. And that's okay. But it might mean that our opponent's going to take a while to do stuff, which would be great for us. All right, we can play this on turn 4. We could just play this. But instead we'll do shield block. We have to play it this turn. It's a temporary card. We'll just get some armor. We'll draw a card. Sandbinder. All right. We could play Sandbinder because we do have one of the elementals in our deck as part of our combo. So we could do that. I think actually that's... All right. Our opponent is greedy. Okay, that's good. That's excellent for us. We could play this because we have played a spell. We played 2 spells. So we can play this. We can play it next turn. Let's use our mana properly. We're either going to dredge for a card that is important for our combo. None of these are important for our combo. This will draw a spell and will reduce the cost of... If it's a fire spell, none of this is great for what we want. We'll take Reno Jackson. We're going to get 6 armor. Because we don't have to care about a top deck because we're going to play this next turn anyway. If our health gets low, we can Reno Jackson. That sounds pretty good. That was kind of a bust as far as dredges go. We do know that on the bottom of our deck are cards we don't care about, so that is nice to know. But it does mean that they'll get reduced cost if we end up playing from the depths. So luckily our opponent hasn't really done much, which is great for us. Yeah, okay, they haven't even played any holy spells, so that's excellent for us. They are getting value with their hero power. Yeah, so this card doesn't mean anything to us. You know what? Let's do this. None of this is our combo, but Deep Miner Brand we want to play next turn. So because that means we can draw 2 elementals. We can, yeah, that's real good. We'll hold this. We're just building armor. We're just building a cushion for our opponent because our opponent could have a lot of cards that do face damage to us. Maybe they won't. They could have cards that turn their healing into attacks, which we hate. All right, that's smart. Yeah, that's fine. We could play this and delete that 3/3, but ooh, okay. Well. We could play this and get some minions off the board, and it doesn't have to go twice. And then we can play this the next turn, and that's probably the right call. Let's do that. Let's just put a 7/5 on the board, get rid of 6 damage. That seems pretty good to me. Because maybe our opponent's going to focus on this. And we didn't have anything I really wanted to play on 7 mana anyway, so I can just play this next turn and it's okay. Off curve, that's fine. Unless we top deck something I want to play, we can play a couple cards. I do need to play this at some point. It will make life better to do double. Like doing double dredge would be pretty good. Double Ysera rules. Okay. Now, is our opponent going to kill the 2/4? Or are they just going to go face and start chipping away at my... we do have this at some point here. And we could really clear the board if we had to. Okay, they went for that. That's fine. I'm okay with that. It's one part of our combo. We've got one of the 3 cards we need for our combo. So that rules. Yeah. Let's just do doubles. And we'll take that. Right now, we can do 16 damage to minions, so we got a good board clear. And now we will dredge twice here. So that's pretty good. Okay. All right. Our opponent, yeah. I don't want them to get a Thaurissan, but any other card here, like even Lord Barov, I'm fine with. But if they pull the Thaurissan, I'm going to be bummed because I don't want them to have their cards to cost less because they have a full hand. Okay. Do I want to clear this board? Oh, I do. I could clear the board for free. Clearing the board for free sounds pretty great. So let's give them 7 damage. Let's clear the board for free. There's one card. I should have swung it in. I fucked up. I should have swung it in, and that's me. I messed up. That's okay though. That's not the end of the world. Doing 7 damage felt good. We could draw some minions. That's probably too many minions. Let's take this, and then we'll take New Heights. Okay, that seems okay. Steam Guardian. I think that's fine. I would like to have more cards in my... let's just do this. We'll do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Commander Geedon could get us our card, another card we need. Right now we have 2/3 of our combo. And we shouldn't need anything more than, the third part of the combo. Honestly, if this stayed alive and this stayed alive, we could just do it on 10 mana. As long as there's a 1 and a 2 on the board. The reason why we do the Mecharoo is because it guarantees we can do our combo. Right now, things are looking pretty good for what we're trying to do here. We could play this to make it easier to find our cards that we're looking for. We could play this and make our cards cheaper. Okay. When it dies. Going face, totally makes sense. I would probably do the same. All right. We get more mana. If we had 10 mana, we could do the combo right now. We do not have 10 mana, so we cannot do the combo. So we'll do that. We'll go face. Don't I just give them something they have to deal with? Yeah. And I'll give myself more mana. Because it's nice to have more mana. Alright. So we still don't have an activator. Which is okay. But now our combo costs less, which is good. And we have a bunch of mana. And we'll probably play Gideon next turn. Okay. Oh, wow. Your next 3 spells cast twice. That's not good for us. Okay, so I want to find a card in my deck. I can play this just to draw 2 spells. That's fine. This might draw what I need. I think I gotta do this, yeah. And then do that, yeah. And then All right, so now we are just hunting. We are just hunting for our 1/1 that we need here with Death Rattle. Have a 1/1. Our opponent could pop off at any time, so we are under the gun here. But we have a lot of health and we have a good amount of armor. I kind of want this to be off the board because it is going to eat up a lot of attacks with the 2/2 damage, but I think it'll be okay. Because I can always just swing a bunch of things into it. If we top deck Mecharoo or get Mecharoo for cheap. Alright, so they're just going face, which is okay. None of these... This card could get what we want. So we're going to take this and see if we can discover it. Because it only costs 1. And these cards go away. Goodbye, cards. We'll play this. See if we can get our Mecharoo. None of these are a Mecharoo. This would not draw the Mecharoo. This is cheap. We can play that. We got our Mecharoo. Oh, it has Divine... Ooh, that sucks. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do another variation of this. We play ETC. We didn't want our Mecharoo to have Divine Shield because then it wouldn't die. So we'll just pull this. Okay. So we have 9 mana. We have exactly the right amount of mana. Let's just put a bunch of damage into this. We're going to play this here. The order is important. And now we play that. That was a crazy turn. We should have won this game. It takes a little while. Because this is going to go off twice, we should be able to win this game. Now, it does mean that until these things die, we don't get as many of these guys going, so it takes a little while. But because it's going to happen twice, we'll be okay. And now we're building a full board of these. Our board was a little too full for this. But theoretically, because it goes off twice, we won. Yeah, because they didn't have that much health. There wasn't much on the board to absorb them. Hey, Lord Crashington. The part of this deck where it doesn't work is if this battle cry only goes off once. This is not complicated, but it does require some maneuvering to get it going. As you can see, my turn should be over, but it's not over because I won. That's a good indication to know that I won this game. And also, as a reminder, because we're doing double Death Rat or double Battle Cries, even though I've just won the game, it's still going to keep going off. So that's why we're only going to run this deck once. Since we successfully did it, I am not going to keep running this deck because it takes a long time, and that's not worth your time. But this is my favorite... Oh, there we go. We did it. This is my favorite new deck. It's a lot of setup, but it's very fun to play. And like we saw there, I had a way to get the 1/1 I needed, but it wouldn't work for the combo because it was going to have Divine Shield, so that doesn't make any sense. So I went with picking an ETC, which was cheaper, so I could play that, so I had enough mana. I could have survived another turn, but I didn't need to survive another turn, so I just went for it. So again, we're only playing... Maybe at the end of the stream we'll play that, but those games take a long time because I have to get to 11 mana to do it. Let's look at Meat Fang. Meat Fang is the worst of the new decks we'll be looking at tonight. So, there is a new card called Colossal. Colossal cards are the type. This is Wicker Fang. It's a Colossal. That's a lot of streams, Lord Crashington. Nice. Colossal cards are cards that when you play them or they get summoned out of your deck or whatever, they have appendages. They have other things. In this case, there are 4. And there are Wicker Fang's legs. After one of Wickerfang's legs gains stats, this gains stats too. Oops, I just took it out of my deck, so now I have to put it back in. I was trying to... There it is. This is what I want. At the end of your turn, you gain +1/+1. So these cards all get +1/+1, and then this gets bigger and stronger. It's very fun. Now, what are we trying to do with this deck? We are trying to play Meat Wagon, which summons a minion from your deck with attack less than this minion, which is Wickerfang. So we play Meat Wagon, and then we play, on the same turn we play Meat Wagon, we kill it with Naturalize, or, if in better cases, where is the other better? Life Cycle, which destroys a minion, summon a random minion for the same cost to replace it, so we still get a minion. And our opponent doesn't get 2 cards, like Naturalize does. And then we also want to play Mark of the Lotus, or Power of the Wild, or even Savage Roar, to buff all the cards, which means that Wickerfang also eats those buffs. So we also might use Lifebinder's Gift to make our cards cost less, our spells cost less. We might use Solar Eclipse to double the Mark of the Lotus. The thing about this deck is, and you will see in gameplay, is that even when you do it, you can just lose. Because if your opponent has any card that can kill Wickerfang, you just, maybe, if they kill Wickerfang and they don't kill the legs, you can, because the legs still get buffs at the end of every turn, you can still maybe win. But what I've done a lot is I've done the combo, and then my opponent responds with clearing my board, and then I just have to concede, because there's no backup strat for this. There's no alternate win condition for this. It's just a way to cheat out Wickerfang, and maybe on turn 4 or 5, you just have a board your opponent can't kill. But it's... All right. We got a Meat Wagon, great. We've got a Mark of the Lotus. So we're going to keep Revelation, because we'd like to discount things, and we need something to play turn 1. We'll have a coin, so that's good. We got Invigorate, so that means we could get an empty mana crystal. We need 1 card. We need either a Naturalize, or we need a Life Cycle. So there are 4 cards in our deck we want to draw. Oh, also, I will say, there's 1 Sheltered Survivor in this deck, and that's in case Wickerfang, if we draw Wickerfang, we can use Sheltered Survivor to put Wickerfang back in our deck, which is nice. Let's see if Rifle Jammed is going to play a game of Hearthstone with us. As always, folks, we take the win. If our opponent is away from keyboard, they might not be. If they're away from keyboard, we take that win. We will sit here and we will take that win. I am not above that. Your time is important to me, but I will just stall and hang out. We will hang out. If Rifle Jammed, went to go get a snack and we just can win a game, we'll take it. Oh, they're here. They just took forever. Okay. All right, we can reduce costs of our cards. That's good. Let's draw this out. All right, let's play this for 0. Naturalize. Boom, we got it. Okay. So next turn, we are going to play Lifebinder, and we are going to make all our spells cheaper. And then on turn 3, we can coin Mega Meat Wagon. We can kill Meat Wagon, and then we can buff our board. This is, again, I have to stress, this is the best case scenario. The only way this screws up is over the next 2 turns, if we end up drawing Wickerfang, that'll fuck things up. But even best case scenario, we still could lose. Oh, we got Innervate. Shit. That's good. That's good for later. We're still going to just do this. We're going to reduce the cost of spells in our hands. We could coin and Invigorate and just get another mana crystal. Yeah, let's do that. let's do this. Let's not let them know. Because they know we have a coin. And they can tell where it was. They don't know that we have Innervate. So they don't know that next turn. Oh, also we can save Innervate because now we've had a new spell. That costs 4. Great. So now we just have an Innervate for whatever. For shits and giggles. We might as well do that. But they don't know what we have. They don't know what kind of deck we're playing. They do know that we've only been searching for things in our deck and we haven't done anything. So they probably think we're a combo deck. And they're right. We are a combo deck. Okay. We're going to take 2 damage next turn. I don't care about that 2 damage. Our opponent only has a 3/4 to take care of our board. That's great. We are going to give them 2 cards using Naturalize. That's okay. So we play Meat Wagon. We naturalize Meat Wagon. Get Meat Wagon out of here. Then we have a Wicker Fang. And then we can buff all our cards, which means that Wicker Fang eats all those buffs and it will even more buffs. And we could coin Sphere, but that doesn't make sense. We don't need that. And now we have a pretty good board. Can our... Yes, that is... Yes. Concede. Great. That's why this deck is bad. That's a prime example about why this deck sucks. I could not ask for better draw. My draw cards pulled cards we needed. We top deck incredible stuff. We didn't accidentally top deck Wicker Fang right at the last minute, fucking up the whole thing. We did everything this deck is supposed to do, and our opponent immediately had the nuts, the absolute best counter, which is silence. Because all we can do then is buff our board again, but we don't even have a buff card in our hand. That was like incredible at showing you why Meat Fang is a bad fucking deck. Let's run it back. Also, sometimes you don't even get to... You just, like, have Wicker Fang and you never get Sheltered Survivor, so you just end up playing Wicker Fang late in the game and your opponent has a way to counter it. Ugh. Our opponent did very little and we still lost. All right. We're going to keep Aquatic Form. We're going to keep Wave Shaping so we can search some stuff. We'll put Roar back in the back there. Invigorate is okay. We can get an empty Random Crystal or draw a card. First, we'll do Form. Naturalize. That's part of our combo. We can draw that. That's good. This will reduce the cost of something. This will let us pick. Let's pick. We don't want Wicker Fang, but we're going to put Wicker Fang at the bottom, which is great. Let's take Innervate. We don't need another Invigorate. Okay, great. So we do know that Wicker Fang is the bottom of our deck, which is excellent. Our opponent... Oh, God. Our opponent is a fucking pirate deck. We are not winning this game. I mean, at least that's not the worst. Okay, we got Life Cycle, which we didn't need. Let's search. All right, now we have a free Naturalize. Okay, we could play a free Naturalize against our opponent at some point. Let's just draw a card. We got Meat Wagon. We now need a buff for Meat Wagon, and we need enough mana to play Meat Wagon, our free Naturalize, and the buff. We can use the Naturalize that cost mana to kill that 4/1, or we can swing into it. We could, give them cards. I don't want to give them cards. You know what? I'm going to take the damage here. This is a dead turn where we can't do anything. Awful. We need a hand buff and enough mana to play that hand buff and Meat Wagon. So we're at best turn 5. We drew all of our kill your board stuff, which is fine, except we need one of our buffs. Maybe this deck doesn't have enough buffs. It has too much draw. I don't know. I didn't make it. I'm just using it. Okay. At the very least, our opponent hasn't been playing too many pirates. They haven't filled their hands or their board with pirates, which is good. Now they've got more pirates coming. Okay. Okay. Things are not looking great for us. All right. We need a hand buff. Aquatic form. Give us a hand buff. I don't want that. I'll take this. Draw us a hand buff. That can work, but I'm not going to have enough mana for that next turn. Yeah, this is how this deck kind of goes. Like, if I top deck Mark of the Lotus, we can go next turn. But my opponent might have a board big enough to just deal with most of the threats on the board. Yeah, all right. Now they're going to take some damage. Take some damage. Going to take a whole lot of damage, and they got a big board to trade in to kill my Wicker Fang next turn. That is a buff. It is just too expensive. And I don't think I can last another turn. That is a buff. It's just I need it to be one the other buffs. I could take 3 damage off the board and give them cards. That sounds bad. Yeah. All right, I'm going to concede. Yeah, that didn't work out. Yeah, that didn't work. There's not another card that's like we could do a little theory crafting here, maybe. Is there a card that I could put in this deck that would help this deck out? Like, is there a card that is similar to Mark of the Lotus? Give your minions. Give your minions +1. What is that one? These are that one. This is the give your minions. That's a twin spell, but it costs 3, so that's not helpful. Yeah, I didn't think there was. And we're looking at all wild cards, and I can hit crafting. Yeah, there's no card. There's no card that is doing that. Give your minions +1 attack or summon a 2/2 Treant. Wait, so ooh, okay. So Soil the Soil is a 1. It doesn't give your health. It doesn't give any health, but it does give 1 attack. So that's something. Now, what goes out of this deck? Is it Power of the Wild? Because that doesn't give +1/+1, but it does cost 2, and I hate when it shows up. Savage Roar is kind of useless. So I could take out a Savage Roar and 1... Okay, I'll do that. We're going to run it back one more time with another cheap way to affect our board. And again, it won't increase the health of the Wicker Fang. But I think that's okay. And then we'll keep 1 Power of the Wild. All right, yeah. Yeah, Sow of the Soil, I think, isn't a bad call. Yeah, okay. Let's run it back with this slight change, and we'll see if we can... Now, let's see if we can do the combo and win the game. The dream. When the thing your deck is supposed to do actually does it, and then also your opponent's like, ah, fuck. And not, oh, I'll just silence everything. All right, so our opening hand here has a Wicker Fang, so we got to send that shit back. Lifebinder is tempting to keep, but we don't have anything, so we're just going to hard mulligan the whole starting hand. All right, okay, great. We have our buff, and it's our new buff, so we can try it out. We have a Naturalize, a way to get that off the board. We can get more mana. We are now looking for Meat Wagon. We need Meat Wagon. That would be nice, but we're going to pick the other wave shaping because we're drawing for Meat Wagon. Now, I understand that I keep saying the two words meat wagon, but that's unfortunately just part of this goddamn deck. All right, that sucks. Now our cards cost more. And we can offset that by reducing their cost later. But that does mean that when we discover Meat Wagon, it is going to cost 5 mana and will not be reduced in cost. So that sucks. I think we're just going to gain an empty mana crystal. If I had another, I could naturalize it. I think we're just going to eat that cost. Because I could naturalize it, but I need to draw another card to offset that. So. Coin. Man. Coin Far Watch Post. Alright, now it costs 3. This would discover a copy of a card, which is nice. This reduces the cost. We are still looking for a Meat Wagon. We'll take the expensive Life Cycle. Oh, that's not it. That's right, because it's a cost. And if we play Life Cycle, we would get another one. But instead, we're going to give you mana. Or we're going to give you cards, I should say. All right, we are still looking for Meat Wagon. We have 5 mana next turn, so we can play Meat Wagon, and so we can play Meat Wagon. We can't do everything. All right, we need 6 mana to do this, but we can reduce the cost of our spells, which means we can go next turn, and we can play this for free, so we should, and that gives us Innervate, which seems good to have, and we can armor up, and we can just swing into this, because why not? All right. Unless we top deck Wickerfang. Well, actually, if we top deck Wickerfang, we just play Wickerfang, which is not what this deck is supposed to do, but we can just do it. If we top deck Wickerfang, we have enough mana to just do the combo. Now, our opponent does have enough damage to kill our Wickerfang in the middle, but we will have all of the... No, it won't. It won't. Never mind. Sorry. I'm overthinking this. Because they'll still get +1/+1. That sucks, but it's okay. Okay, yeah. Chronic Form costing 1 is fine. Play Meat Wagon. Get rid of Meat Wagon and get a new card instead of Meat Wagon that costs 4. Get Wickerfang. Get some new card there. What's this? Whenever you play a card, remove the top 3 cards of your deck. The worst 4-drop possible. But you know what? We can't back down now. We gotta do the fucking combo. That's fine. That's okay. That hurts. Another buff card. Losing a buff card hurts. Let's dredge. And we're going to dredge for this to maybe get what we need later. We'll play this. I'm a little tilted. I'm a little tilted by Banshee. I'll admit it. So my opponent does have enough damage here probably to kill a 9/9. But now we have these 2/3s and we have this fucking 6/5. We have only 1 buff card, or we have 2 buff cards left in our deck. We have 2 buff cards in our deck that we could play. But it's going to be hard to play those unless our opponent kills this 6/5. And I don't think they will. My assumption is they're going to want to kill the 9/9. Because the 2/3s can just get better and better. But yeah, they probably want to try to kill the 9/9. That's what I would do. Instead, maybe they have a freeze for the 9/9? But yeah, all right, they're killing the legs. What are you going to do now? What do you have to get rid of this 9/9? I mean, the 6/5 staying alive makes sense for them because it's fucking me up. And whatever card I draw is going to cost extra money, and that's fine. What do you have? What are you leaving the 9/9? Okay. Yeah, all right. That's weird. Sure. All right. So None of the cards on here will kill this fucking 6/5. So I can draw a card and then lose 3 cards and hopefully draw one of the 2 buffs. I think I'm going to do that. This fucking sucks. Okay, that dies. That's what I wanted. That's okay. I killed both of my buffs. And I got the card that doesn't help me here. I mean, fuck, man. I don't know. I'm just gonna go face. Fuck you. Counter me. I got a 10-10. They gotta kill a 10-10 now. Kill my 6/5. I should stress here, folks. We got nothing. There's nothing left in my deck. This fucking 4-drop. It would have been better to give them 2 cards and use my Naturalize than use Life Cycle. Like, I got nothing left in my deck. There's no other way I have to buff this card. Okay. All right, so you're going to do 6 damage to that. Okay. So they can probably clear my board. But we're gonna stick it out. I don't know, like I said. We're gonna stick it out and see. We're probably gonna fucking lose, but we'll see what's up. Our opponent is taking the sweet time. They're doing the math, I think. My 10-2 here is gonna die. I'm pretty confident that 10-2 is dying. Now, do they have enough damage to kill my 6/5 and the 3/4? The 3/4 is going to keep growing. So yeah, you want to kill this. You don't want to kill it. You just did damage. Okay. All right. All right, we're done. We don't have anything. They cleared my board. They did have enough damage to clear my board. I can just do 1 damage a turn. So yeah, we're going to concede. Again, we did the combo. Now, we did get fucked over by the random chance of all of the 4-drops in the game. All of the possible 4-drops we could have got. We did get one that killed our deck. We're going to run this back one more time. I would love to get a win with this deck tonight. We do have one other deck. The deck I fucking crafted myself. An idea that I saw postulated that no one had made a deck for that said, couldn't you do Infinite Death Rattle Hunter? And I was like, you could do Infinite Death Rattle Hunter. So we could do Infinite Death Rattle Hunter. That's the next deck. All right. We're going to keep... We got to sow the seed. We got a wave shaping to play on turn 1. I have found in my experience here, having a... Okay, we've got Life Cycle, excellent. Having something that you play on turn 1 in this deck is pretty essential because you got to start drawing cards as soon as possible. So right now, we could go on turn 5 without any help. We only need 1 card from our deck. We need Meat Wagon. Again, my apologies that I keep saying Meat Wagon, but it is the card's name. Oh, they're playing Murlocs. Okay, I can't act like this every time. Okay, we can play this early. Our opponent is just doing what they do. All right, let's see. Moonlit Guidance is good because we can discover a copy of card from our deck next turn. That's fine. We also have Revelation, which is nice to reduce cost. But right now, what we are looking for is just Meat Wagon. Our opponent is just going to play a lot of Murlocs, and then eventually their Murlocs are going to be buffed. They also can buff cards. I kind of want to just... Okay. Power of the Wild. Cheap Power of the Wild is better than Sow the Seed, so we could play Sow the Seed as just a 2/2. Okay. This is worth playing a coin. Just gain an empty mana crystal. Excellent. All right. So we are still looking for Meat Wagon. If we draw Meat Wagon, we can we can go on turn 5. Our opponent is going to be doing a lot of damage to us right now. We have no way to clear their board. We could play Life Cycle and just give them another card. All right, so we are looking for Meat Wagon. We got a Meat Wagon. All right. So unless we top deck Wickerfang next turn, we can go. So let's see. Let me just double check again. I need 6 mana to make this work. I have 4 and 5, so I don't have enough. Let's see. We could do a secondary buff later. Let's see. If we need 6 mana, so we can do that. We'll save this. We can buff our buffs later. Would it be better to have a 2/2, or would it be better to swing and kill? Yeah, you know what? This is better. Just kill this thing. All right, our opponent is most likely going to have 2 Murlocs to play this turn. And they will buff all the Murlocs on the board. So that's why I decided to take the damage. Okay, there's 1 Murloc. And then 2 Murlocs. Their Murlocs all get buffed. Oh, next time. That's right. They didn't have enough. That does... The next one they play. Now all their Murlocs get +1/+1. Oh, we got the other Mark of the Lotus. Excellent. All right, let's do the combo. We play this. We play the coin just to have the coin. We destroy this. We pray that we don't get that terrible 4-drop. Okay, we get Wickerfang. We get... What do we get here? What are you? Spell Burst. Gain 1 attack and taunt. Guess what? We're playing a spell. Excellent. We love that. Let's play... Let's just do this one. We'll play this one. Excellent. And now... All right. Our deck has done exactly what it's supposed to do. Can we win with the... Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what this deck is supposed to do. It's supposed to be your opponent goes, "Aw, my draw has been bad. All I can do is play like 1 Murloc. And you have so much board. And your board is just going to increase because I don't have a board clear. Because I'm playing Murloc Paladin. And I didn't put in the clear package, the wild card clear package, which also costs 5 mana. So that's what Meat Wagon's supposed to do. The Meat Fang deck, the Meat Wagon and Wickerfang. And I got to win with that deck, so we're moving on to the next deck. We are 2 and 3 tonight. Let's talk about Repeat Death. This is the deck. This is the one I've been talking up. So there's a couple things you have to understand about some new cards in this game. Confront the Tol'vir is a 3-mana card that, when played, repeats each 1-cost card you've played this game, targeting enemies if possible. So, I've played some 1-cost, and in this game, I'm going to play a lot of 1-cost cards. The most important 1-cost card I'm going to play is Play Dead, because there's another card. So the idea is that we are going to play... where are you? Gemstone Hoarder. Choose a card in your hand to discard. Death Rattle. Get it back. It costs 1 less. Gemstone Hoarder is going to pull Play Dead. Take Play Dead out of our hands. Discard it. Then, either with the other Play Dead or Terrascale Stalker, we are going to trigger the Death Rattle of our Gemstone Hoarder, which means... we get a free, the Death Rattle is we get a free copy of Play Dead. And then we are going to use that free copy. And we are going to do as many times as we can, copy Gemstone Hoarder or activate Gemstone Hoarder and just load up our goddamn Confront the Tol'vir. And then the next turn, we will play either Goblin Bomb or we will play Naval Mine. And then we will play Confront the Tol'vir, and then we will win because we will just be triggering that Death Rattle over and over and over again. If our opponent does not clear our Gemstone Hoarder. You can run an instance where you are triggering that death rattle, but that gives you a bunch of free play dead. So then at the end of that, you could just play a bunch of them and you should win that way. This deck, again, I crafted this version of it. This is an idea that people were postulating. I am sure that there is a better crafted version of this deck. I'm sure there are people out there who say you do not need as many death rattles in there, because I have 4 death rattles in here to go, and I have 2 cards in here that help me draw one of those death rattles. So I'm sure there are people out there who say you don't need this shit, Pat. You got too much shit in here. You don't need it. I don't know yet. Holy Egg Bearer might be unnecessary here. So we're gonna hope we find Goblin Bomb later. We are gonna keep Fetch because it draws a minion and it's something we can play on turn 1. And I don't think we have any beasts in there, so it's really we're just playing Fetch to draw a minion. We did get Gemstone Hoarder, which is great. We have Holy Egg Bearer to play on turn 2 to pull one of our 4 death rattles. What we need now is we need 2 play deads and also a Confront the Tol'vir. One nice thing about drawing a minion is if we draw Trinket Tracker, we can pull one of our 1-cost spells. So good. We can do Tracking or Fetch. Tracking gives us more options. We'll play that. We're going to pull the other Tracking. Next turn, we can play these 2 cards, or we can play this, depending on what our opponent does. Yeah. Okay. They have big beasts at the bottom of their deck. That sounds fine. Unless they have cards that can they can look at the bottom of their deck and pull them out. I think we're okay. We could play this depending on what we top deck. We could play this Egg Bearer. Alien Encounters means that we want to get this cheap because this is a card that keeps us alive. It's very nice to have in this deck because we do a lot of discovers, so this gets cheap. I'm going to say we don't really need minions. We need... I guess we'll take Naval Mine just to... we can draw with that. I don't know. Discover. We'll take the Discover card, and then we'll play this. Okay, so next turn we can play Trinket Tracker. That's good. We can also discover another Trinket Tracker if we need to, because we need 2 copies of Play Dead right now. And then this will drop this cost to 2, so we might just play these 2 here. Just to give us some 2/5s. That would be probably pretty good. Okay, we did get Confront the Tol'vir, which we need later. Let's discover another Trinket Tracker, because we can play both those. This costs 2. We can play that next turn. We got Flare. That doesn't help us. But we have another 50-50 of getting one of the play deads. We do need 2 play deads, or we need a Stalker. All right. They have drawn their big cards. Their big 5/5 cards that they chose. Okay, we got a Stalker. So if we have next turn, if we have 1 play dead, if this gives us a play dead, it did. Okay, so next turn we can play Hoarder and we can play Stalker, and we can start that. So let's keep ourselves alive here. Oh, I forgot. In all my haste, in all my opportunity, one thing I never did was I never got a Goblin Bomb or a Naval Mine. And I had so many chances to do that, and I never did. There's a Naval Mine. Great, we're good. Okay. And also, it means we can run stuff in. Oh, I should be going faster than this, and I'm not. And that's on me. So let's just trigger that. Oh, why is that taking so long? Oh, why are you taking so long? What the fuck? What's happening? Okay. That sucks. That really sucks. That took forever. Just do that. We got the time. We might as well do that. Oh, my internet fucked up. That's why. Okay. Great. Yeah, all right. Well, sorry, everybody, that things look bad, but hopefully the internet connection will come back alive. But that's why. Everything froze because my internet went bad for a second there. So that's terrible timing. So right now I am doing this until... I'm going to do this as much as I can until the rope ends here. And we're going to do a lot of damage. We're also going to draw some cards, which is fine. That was bad timing. Great, we got one in. So this is what we're going to do next turn. We're probably going to win. Because we also have this play dead, and we're going to get another play dead off this dying, because our opponent, unless our opponent silences it, which is also okay. But we can just do some dumb stuff next turn. That was such a weird time for my my internet to have a hiccup there. But we didn't get disconnected from the game. All right. I think we're going to win this one. The worst I've had is I've had it where I couldn't kill the 3/4 and it just gave me a bunch of play deads, which was terrible. So let's do this. And then we're going to do what this deck should do here. We're going to see if we can do enough damage with this. I think we can. And if we had to, again, we have 2 more triggers. We actually have, yeah, with our mana, we could play 2 more of them. We do have to do all the searching things here, which is fine. You can also do this, of course. Oh, we got another play dead. Great. We could also do this with the 0/2, and it just takes a little longer. And yeah, it's only going to give the 1 negative. It's not going to keep going. So that's the deck that I made, and I think it's swell. I will say there is certainly a reasonable thing that I could swap out. Like, yeah, well, you know what? Maybe we'll look. What could I swap out? Like, I probably don't need Goblin Bomb in here because I'm always going to have enough mana. Because I'm always going to need at least 3 mana for the next turn anyway. So I can play Naval Mind and Confront at the same time. So it's like, if Goblin Bomb comes out and then Egg Bear is just another way to draw Naval Mind, then like that makes sense. But the question is, what goes in? And it's like, is there a Discover card that I don't have in here? Discover a Death Rattle minion. Your next one costs 1 less. That's not going to find our cards in the deck. That is going to make our Naval Mind cheaper. That don't make necessarily sense to me on there. Because this is not necessarily... That is considered a Death Rattle card. So maybe Carry Out Studies makes sense, but probably not. After you discover a card, get a copy of it. That's pretty good. We don't want it to be a one... Actually, I'm sorry. We don't want it to be a 1-cost spell. We don't want it to be a 1-cost spell. We got enough 1-cost spells in there. We want to find Play Dead. So we don't want it to be a 1-cost Discover. So 2-cost Discover. Discover a copy of a beast in your deck. That doesn't help us. That doesn't help us. Discover a beast. No, that doesn't help us. No. Discover a minion for your deck. If all 3 are beasts, draw them all instead. That's a 3-cost Discover. Discover a friendly Death Rattle to die. No, so Master's Call maybe makes sense. It costs a lot, but maybe it would be in there. But it doesn't feel like great. So it's like, discover a beast. That doesn't help us. Discover a copy of a minion in your deck. Like, now we're getting into expensive cards, so it's like, I don't think that makes any sense. And then if we go in here to neutral cards, like Sands of Time doesn't make any sense. Scarab doesn't make any sense. Discover a spell. None of that makes any sense. Yeah, we don't have any dragons. Okay, so if that doesn't work, then what about draw? What about a card that draws? Does it make sense? If 3 friendly beasts die, no. Draw until you have 3 cards. Does it make sense to play a beast in this deck? I don't think it makes sense to play more minions. Draw that many cards. That doesn't make any sense for us. We don't have any secrets. Draw a card, repeat it until you have at least 3 cards. We always have cards. Draw a beast. We don't have any of that. It's a death rattle. Reveal a minion for your deck. That doesn't help us. Draw beasts. It's Hunter. They want beasts. Draw a minion. Give it 1/1. Death rattle. Get a 10-gallon hat. That might be helpful. 10-gallon hat could be helpful because it does draw a minion. Draw a Naga and a spell. We don't have any Naga. Yeah. Is Master's Call better than having Goblin Bomb? Discover minions from your deck. Like we do have two minion we need to play for the deck. It's expensive though, but it's not too expensive. Yeah, I don't know. It is a Discover card, which is nice for alien encounters to keep us alive. Tolvir Warden. Draw 2/1 cost minions from your deck. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to take Goblin Bomb out because we have Naval Mine and we have a way to draw Naval Mine. Put Master's Call in. We'll see how that works. It's expensive. It's 3-cost spell. So I don't know if that's smarter. But I will say, discovering cards that we don't need feels bad in this deck. So that discovers cards we do want to have. Really, I just want a better way to get Play Dead, which I don't have. I don't have a better way to get Play Dead out of my deck. That's a way. We're keeping that. And then let's keep Bird Watching, because that's a good turn too. And we got Tracking. That is also good to play later. We can play that turn 3, maybe. We do need 2 minions to come out of our deck. I don't care if they have +2/+1. That's fine. And we got Fetch. So we could do these next turn. We could wait on that. We got one of our Playdeads. So we either need the other Playdead or we need the Stalker, which is fine. Oh, we also have Parrot Sanctuary, and that I still don't know for sure if that makes sense to be in the deck. But we do have Parrot Sanctuary, and that is nice to have for just making our battle cries cost less. And so we can go earlier on the combo if we want to. It's nice to have. I don't like top decking it, but it is nice to have. All right, we got to kill this 2/1 here because this is just going to be doing some stuff. We don't want that to be there. Let's discover first. We got another Tracking. We got the alien encounter. Got discover a spell from your deck. Discover a spell from your deck. This is. I wish we had more variations of that. Let's just draw a minion. We got the Naval Mine. Okay, so we have the Naval Mine for our combo. We are looking for Gemstone Hoarder, the other Play Dead, and Confront Tolvir. What is this? Okay. This is a minion-based deck. We got the other Naval Mine. This was a top deck we did not need. We can just flare. Let's discover a spell. We got the other Play Dead. Okay. We got Master's Call. All right, so We are looking for... we'll confront the Tolvir we need, and we also need Gemstone Hoarder. So we're going to look for minions next turn. We have 2 different ways to discover a minion. But we'll probably play the cheaper one. Luckily, our opponent hasn't played they're going to be playing more, but they haven't played like so many cards that we're in trouble. We could always just play one of our naval mines, because we have the 2. We could just play a naval mine just to be like, hey, deal with this thing, or ignore it. I don't care. Okay, discover a spell. Let's discover a minion. We got our Gemstone Hoarder. And we still need... confront the Tolvir, so let's see if we can get that. And then we have... Hell yeah. Okay, great. So next turn, we can do our combo, and the turn after that, we can win the game. And our opponent does not have cards big enough to kill this 5/5, unfortunately. So we will probably run into an issue with that, but maybe they'll kill it anyway, or silence it. That is the problem there. Okay, yeah, all right. Maybe they will kill the 5/5 as they're building this big ass dumb board here. There is a chance that even though we're gonna do our combo, they're just gonna wipe the floor with us next turn or in 2 turns. If they have any kind of card that buffs their board, we will lose. Okay, let's see what they do now. Are they waiting for me to concede? Why aren't they doing anything? Did we get disconnected? No, we didn't get disconnected. I don't know what they're doing right now. Okay, they're doing that. All right, there we go. All right, they're just... Yeah, I don't think we're going to lose next turn because the 5/5 could absorb some of this shenanigans, but... all right, we just have to do our thing here. We play that. Choose the card. Hey, choose the card. There we go. And now... luckily, this thing does enemy hero. You could pick a death rattle that does more damage per death rattle, but... enemy hero is the important thing, because if our opponent has a big board like this, then you just fucking die. So if our opponent has... there are a couple ways here that our opponent could beat us. If they have a card that makes our naval mine cost too much, then we can't play it for with the 3 mana. If they have a way to, I don't know, make it so that this costs 5 more. I don't think they have that card. Really, the only clear way for our opponent to beat us is if they can do 17 damage to us next turn. And I don't think they can. They might be able to, but I don't think they can do 17 damage to us, because we're going to do a lot of damage to them. Thank you, Deck Tracker. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to beat us here. They have to do 17 damage, right? They don't have this. They have, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have 12 damage on board between their minions, their weapon, and their hero power. And then they have, so they'd have to do, you know, a decent amount of damage with 3 mana to work with. So I don't know if they can do it. If they can, that's fine. I will certainly lose to... it took me 1 turn longer than it should have to do this. Are they going to make me wait for it? They didn't attack the 5/5 at all. If they don't kill the 5/5, that does fuck me up. Now, can they do 5 damage here? Do they have the 3 mana? No. Okay, great. All right, so the problem is that this 5/5 is going to be doing, is going to be giving me some free stuff here. And that is actually bad. That is bad news. We're going to free up our hand a little bit here. Because we're going to be getting a lot of free... So it's going to play... Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's bad, but okay, because it costs 0. That's good. That's fine. That's good. That's good. One more. We did it. But again, as long as it doesn't rope us, we can always play some of the free play deads on our 0-2, which is why I started with that. I'm proud of that deck. I think for now anyway, there is like Naval Mine does cost 2. So there's part of me that says, hey, Naval Mine costs 2, you should go with the 0-2. But you then have to use, like, I think Naval Mine just makes more sense because it's faster doing damage because it does 4 damage. And like, even with the amazing discounts, you're going to have 5 mana because you need 5 mana to do this. So you're going to have that 5 mana. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep this for now. I think I'm going to keep Master's Call because if you're on turn 3 and you're still looking for minions, that sucks, but that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I think Repeat Death is pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I'm proud of it. Let's play Just Aviana. Let's look at Just Aviana. I want to play Aviana. I want to put legendaries into my deck. I have cards to make it so I can play Aviana faster. I have cards to pull Aviana out of my deck. I have cards to give me so much fucking mana. Discover other... and I have a bunch of cards here to find and pull out these one-cost legendary minions. And unfortunately, I'm going to show you right here what happens when I type in legendary. These are all legendaries that I have. And it's not the ones you have, it's all legendaries. Some legendaries are great. They do cool shit. And they're neat. And some legendaries are bad. If I go to crafting, like, you know, like, yeah, there's... Oh, God, this fucking card. Each time it's in your hand, transform a card your opponent is holding. I don't want that card. It's already a 1/1 for 1. I don't want that. Priest has a lot of ones that are just terrible. Like Shifter Xeris. That would be awful to pull. Patches would be terrible to pull. Ivus could maybe be okay. I don't know. Like I said, there's just so many... Oh, Cho. Cho would be awful. If I pull a goddamn Cho, that would be bad. Anyway, let's go. We don't need to look at that. Anyway, like I said, in Wild, this card is bad. In Standard, it was fun. In Wild, it's a bad deck. This is the Wild version of the deck. It's not great, but we'll play it a bit. Towards the end of the stream, we'll go back to the deck we played first because it's fun, but it takes a while. So I wanted to try I wanted to show you a variety of decks in this year's stream, but we'll maybe do one more at the end. Something's going on. Some kind of collab event for Advent. Oh, that's right. April 1st. Advent. Sorry. I got distracted. All right, we're going to keep Aviana because we should keep Aviana. So now we are looking for cards in our deck that allow us to play Aviana sooner. We want to get Innervate. We can now play this on turn 4 with Innervate. Great. We're looking for the other Innervate. We're looking for Acceleration Aura. We are looking for Wild Growth. I think that's all the cards we would want. Yeah. Oh, Capture Coldtooth Mine could get us Innervate, so that would be good. All right, so we just kill this. Our opponent is playing Murlocs. We kind of want to control the board as much as we can. We can always swipe if they've got a bunch of bullshit, but really, we're just waiting for turn 4. All right, that's fine. Let's draw our lowest cost card. That is the other Innervate. Great. We could play one of the Innervates now. We'll save it. Having an Innervate later means that we can play more. Now, one thing we don't have in our hand right now is a way to draw minions. We have no more draw in our deck, or in our hand. So hopefully in the next turn, we top deck something that we can use later, like Reforestation, or Story of Barnabas, or even Ungoro Brochure, Bottomless Toy Chest. Capture Gold Mines wouldn't help us. Capture Gold Mines would pull the other, would pull Ungoro, or Aquatic Form. Aquatic Form would be all right. So we're hoping we top deck one of those. Magic Dollhouse is not a good top deck there. It's a cool effect. All right, we now have, as you can see here, we have 10 cards created by Sky Mother Aviana, and they are all legendaries, and they're all cost 1, and we don't know what they do. So our opponent can kill the 5/5 if they want. And then next turn, we could clear the board if we need to. I mean, I'm hoping when we top deck something that lets us draw more. We don't have that. We can put some stuff to sleep or kill some stuff. All right, yeah, they're going to... All right, so that did get the buff. Now all their Murlocs get +1. And if they summon 5 more, then the next time they get +2/+2, and they just spiral and have a bunch of fucking Murlocs that I have to deal with. We can clear the board. We got Aquatic Form. Let's please dredge something that would help us. That doesn't help me. Story of Barnabas helps me. Next turn. Oh, that's right. I get this turn. Okay. Shuffle 7 Dream Portals into your deck. We got a 4/12 that costs us 1 fucking mana. That's good. And now we can get some random ass dragons. We are increasing the fucking random of this deck. We are heavily increasing the random, which is great. We love that. So now we have just a bunch of nonsense in our deck, which is very good. Got some Dream Portals, and we have our legendaries. We have no way to draw them other than top decking. We can help clear the board some if we need to, but also we have a 4/12. Lord Crashington misses the meat wagon. Yeah, we're doing too good with this deck. We got to get back to the fucking meat wagon. Right now, I do not care about our opponent's board here. Okay, well, let's just fucking clean up the board. Do 3 damage to 2 random minions. Let's see. Let's just kill that. And then we'll just do this here. Clean the board. This was not much, but we did clean up the board some. And so that's fine. I forgot that triggers constantly every time it takes damage. I should have killed that first. All right. So, goodbye. Goodbye, big dragon. Hello, big board. I can't silence that. I can... Okay, let's choose a minion. Let's draw a minion. After you play a minion, destroy it and summon a 4/4 failed student. This card is bad. Again, this is a bad legendary that does not help me at all. There is nothing good about that. Unless I have... So you say, oh, Pat, you should save that so you can play another minion with it. There is a chance that some of the minions in my deck suck ass, but they probably don't. They're probably better than than getting it destroyed and becoming a 4/4. Unless it's got a cool death rattle, there might be a room for that. But I'd rather this just soak up damage. Okay. I mean, it's only going to soak up damage from this thing. God damn. So our top deck has to be very good or we just lose, which is okay. Again, it's okay. I would love for us to get a Dream Portal and then have... okay, we didn't get that. We did get this, though. Okay. Can attack. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 3 to a random enemy. So this sucks. Discover 5 cards. Replace your deck with 2 copies of each. So I think this should be a clear indication. Let's just do it because that's funny. But we're not. We're going to. Yeah. We're just gonna pick stuff because it's funny to see. Replace your deck with a copy of your opponent's draw card. Tony. I love Tony. That's a good dumb legendary. We'll do the spell, even though we're not putting any spells in our deck. And then we're just going to play this as well. I want my opponent to see the bad fucking legendaries we pulled. We pulled some god-awful legendaries there. That was fun. That was fun and stupid in a way that I enjoy. God, that was really bad. Well, at least we're drawing cards for... All right, let's go back to Spammy Blaze. This is the deck we played at the beginning. We got to win immediately with the combo, or not immediately, but in the first game. We'll play this because it takes a little while, and then we'll see where we're at when this is done. Spammy Blaze, the very fun one. If we lose the Spammy Blaze, I don't mind. Okay, looks like we're going second. We'll keep the Dredge card because I love knowing what's at the bottom of my deck. So we'll keep Ascidian Smith. We got 1 card for our combo. That's good. And we have a way to get 1 other card for our combo, or 2 if we play the right 6-drop. Play 6-drop brand. Okay. All right, we're gonna lose. Our opponent is our opponent's gonna be doing some shit, and we're probably gonna lose. So we're coining. I need a body on the board. Another combo. Oh, great. Next turn we are top decking another combo piece. We're not gonna get to 11 mana. Our opponent is just going to make a bunch of fucking bullshit. Probably. Maybe they won't. But maybe they will start off slow. All right, we got this. This is good. We don't have a turn 4, or turn 2, I should say. We have a turn 3 and a turn 4. Turn 4, we can get the part of our combo we don't have. And then maybe we can get, we can top deck Emperor Thorsan, and we can make it cheaper. But it ain't looking great. I'll say that. Okay. This now costs 5. That's nice. We can play that to kind of clear their board some. Because they're... Yeah. Okay, what are you discarding? Oofta. Okay. Yep, and they got some draw that way. Good on them. Totally ignoring the 3/3. Why wouldn't they? Let's get the card we need for our combo. Which is Mecharoo. Got a Mecharoo. Might as well just do some damage there. Next turn, we can clear their side of the board. But I don't know what we're doing between then and turn 11, which is how we need 11 mana. So I don't know what we're going to do there, unless we can play Thorsan at some point. I don't need that. Maybe we can get... if we can get the 100 armor combo, then that would be great. But I don't think we're going to get the 100 armor combo. Okay. Yeah, and they're just going to go face, because why wouldn't they? If we can get the card that dredges and get the 100, then we could do it. But we're not going to get that. But we can't... Oh, great. Of course. Do more damage. Yes. All right. So, oh, there's Mekaru. All right. So we're going to clear their board and our board. So they can just do 4 damage to our face. They probably have the other do 4 discard. Let's see if they do. Yeah, no, they had that. They had Soul Barrage. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we weren't going to win that one, right? We had every piece of our combo. It's just that they did so much damage to us, there was nothing we could do about that amount of damage, which is fine. We'll try again. Again, that happens, right? We do have control elements in our deck. We didn't draw the ones we needed to control their board. They had very good draw. They played their cards right. They got some luck in there, and yeah. If we had been able to get in Ignatius Lava Gorger and get the 100 armor combo, then we would have been okay. But that's very rare. This is, we want spammy. This is part of our combo. We don't need either of these other cards. We'll just put them back and see what we get. Okay, we do have this turn 4. We can get, basically we can get some armor, and that's nice. Turn 2, we might just play this to just get 10 armor and then lose 5 of it later. We're probably also going to play Gold Panner because that just draws cards out of our deck and our opponent will want to kill a 1-2, probably. They have dragons. Okay, they got dragons. That's fine. Let's just get our free card here. And then maybe they won't hit us in the face for 3, and instead they'll want to kill this 1-2. Maybe. Because we don't have a turn 3 anyway, so we can just play this turn 3. And just get a bunch of armor. Alright. I don't want that. That's an emergency. So, what else here? If we didn't have a card I want to play next turn, and if we didn't have one of our 3 combos, I would consider playing Sir Finley and just swap. But we do have a combo piece, and we do have a card I want to play next turn that could give us 100 armor. We are going to take 7 here, and then we're going to lose all the armor we had, but we don't lose any health this way. So I think it's worth it. I'm out of water. Yeah, so we're going to take 7 to the face. We're going to lose that other 3 armor. And so we'll be back to 40, but we're still at 40 health, so that's fine. We'll lose that 3 armor. That's fine. Oh, we did get a deep miner, but let's... So, what we want from this is we want either one of the cards for our combo or 100 armor. Great. We now have 40 health and 100 armor. And unless our opponent has the 5/5 that destroys our armor, we now have a lot of wiggle room. And also, Chrono Lord we didn't need, Shield Block we didn't need. So those are fine to be on the bottom. Turn 5, we can use Roaring Applause to draw. Because we're going to get Ceaseless Expanse, which we don't need. But now we have 100 armor. So we have a long way to go. They got a long way to go. So we can just draw. We can armor up even more. Yeah, that's a 7/7. That's not great, but, you know, it's fine. We also do have Reno Jackson if we need it. So let's draw a card. We want to play a spell to activate this, so we'll just do that. Looks like we didn't do anything, but didn't we? We'll play Deep Miner unless we pull a spell that we want to use to activate Card Grader, but probably we'll just play Deep Miner Brand. So that way we can play, this can work twice. I hate the rewind, the animation for the rewind mechanic. I think rewind as mechanic is cool. I think the animation is bad. I think that is a bad animation. I don't like it when it goes this kind of like weird gold dust thing going there. That's intriguing. Kill some, do 5 damage to the 4/4. Do that, but I kind of want to do that next turn. We'll play this. I love the idea of getting Card Grader to draw to discover 2 cards, because we do need 2 cards for our combo. Or it would be nice to have a way to reduce the cost of our cards, because we do have a huge buff of 85 armor still, 40 health, and then we can put our health back up to 40 twice. It doesn't make it 80, it just does it twice. Yeah. So we've got some time to make some stuff work here. Do I want to do... This would cost... I could do that next turn, because that would cost 5. No, that's turn 8. Yeah, that's next turn, so I could do that. So I could just double dredge. Yeah, I'll only double dredge. Curator was going to draw a bunch of stuff. I don't really want that. I'll take shield block on there, and then on top of the shield block is New Heights. Let's do Chrono Lord. All right, so that's good. We can do that, and we can do this. We could have just played the Forge there, but we'll save it. Chrono Lord kills whatever your opponent has put on the board. That last turn. So we'll see. That dying would be nice. So we might want to just get rid of that. We don't have to, but we might want to. But is that better than just doing a lot of damage and doing double draw? I don't think it is. I think we can do that later. I think this, getting rid of that 4/8, which then gets rid of our 6/8, which is fine. Because we still have 63 armor. We are going to top deck Shield Block, which we can play, draw a card, and then draw 2 more cards. Discover 2 cards. That's fine. Armor doesn't mean too much to us. Really, we just need the cards that we need. We need our combo. Oh, also, if we manage to get ETC, we can do the combo. Now, our opponent has a pretty big board right now. I don't love that for them, for us, but we got this. All you can eat. That's pretty good. Let's discover 2 cards. That's pretty good. And that's great. Yeah, we're just going to play this. We're just going to do 50. We take 8. I don't care about taking 8. Fine by me. We still have 40 health and 42 armor. Our opponent is sticking around, which I appreciate. I like. Okay, so in 3 turns, all their cards cost 1. So we kind of have a bit of a deadline here, which is okay. Let's see if we can find what we need. We have 1 of the cards we need. This will not draw the other. We need an elemental. We're looking for an elemental. We have 1 in our hand. Let's see. What are you going to give me? For 5 mana, what are you going to give me? That's excellent. Yes, I love that. You're going to give me 2 cards. Give me another one. Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Great. Double kill. We need 1 card for our combo. If we top deck it, we can just win. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. We're not, we are looking for either to top deck any kind of discover card, or ETC, or in a perfect world, we top deck the actual card we need to win this, which is wait, did I burn it? Where is it? No, Destructive Blaze. There it is. Let's see. We could top deck it by this. Draw a minion that way. Let's see. That's not what we need. Play that. Play this. It's disruptive. It's good. Draw 2 minions. That sounds good. Oh, that's awesome. That card would make all their dragons reduced by 4. Now, all their cards are going to cost 1, so it doesn't really matter. Next turn, all their cards cost 1. So we kind of fucking need to go next turn. And I don't think we're going to be able to. But we do have enough armor to maybe see this through. Maybe we can see this through with enough armor. All right, so we can't do it. We can do it if we top deck it. We top decked it. Fuck yeah, and it's cheap. Awesome. We're gonna play this. We're gonna play this. And it's got... I don't love that it has 5. Actually, that might screw... Oh, fuck. That... I just realized that might screw things up. Let's see. Shit. Yeah, that could screw things up. Yeah, we might have fucked this... I might have fucked this up. Because that has 5 on it. Which is not good. Let's just do this. Yeah. All right. That might actually do it. That might be okay. We might be okay here. We might have just pulled this off by that damage. Basically, I was afraid this wasn't going to die enough. Like, enough things weren't going to die to kill one of these off. Yeah, but we're okay. Because also we have the double. We have the fact that Spammy is going to go off twice, so we're all right. Because we played that Bran, Spammy's going off twice, so we're okay. I think we would have been all right either way. But yeah, that is the downside of doing of playing Ungoro, is that it made Blaze cost more or have more health. So I didn't even think of that. It all worked out though, in the end. Now, if we just top deck Blaze, it would have been fine. But... this deck is very silly in a way that I love. I love it. I love how silly it is. I just love it. And again, it's going to keep going. Five wins, 5 losses, everybody. Pretty good. I wish it counted the negative. I wish it went farther than -1. I think that's a shame for me personally. That it only goes to -1 and it doesn't keep going. But yeah, 5 wins, 5 losses. I'll take it. That's pretty damn okay. We went from gold 5 to gold 4. We went higher in gold 4, but then we ended up in gold 4, and that's fine. Yeah. 10 of... yeah, all right, we'll wrap it up there. That's Hearthstone. I still really have a good time playing Hearthstone. It's not for everybody, I understand. I know many people that just got off of it, but for me, it is still my everyday card game. It is my check-in, try to get the daily quest done, or the weeklies done. It is still a thing that I like to check in on, and I have a good time. We will not see Hearthstone again until the next expansion or my birthday stream, whichever comes first. And if the next expansion is around my birthday, I might just wait until my birthday stream. So either June 23rd or sooner, but probably June 23rd will be the next time that we do this. I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight, for watching the goofiness. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. And yeah, I would encourage you to come along. Let's see, who is streaming right now that we want to go row raid? I have no idea how much longer Sevmal is going, but Sevmal is doing the marathon, the viewer shuffler for March. It's the very last day of March. Also, hey, in many countries, it's already April 1st. Be careful. But let's go, even if it's just for a little bit, let's go hang out with Sevmal and celebrate the marathon that they are doing. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you come back on Thursday. I am starting a new model kit, and it is something that the kind of model kit I've only built once before on stream. So that's interesting. More about that later. But please come along. There's not many of you tonight, which is okay. It happens. But I'll see you in the next one. And until then, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.